Next story. This is we start off a little bit on a downer note, but now we keep on going up and up and up and up and up.
We're literally going up on this one.
Literally, yes. So again, we are huge fans of Elon Musk's. I'm going to speak for myself. Look, I like the space program, SpaceX. I think, me personally, the next step for human innovation is going into outer space. There's a lot of new potential for us as a species and as individuals to really look at new markets as well as look at new frontiers. And so, as we all know, we're going to be talking about the new SpaceX. I believe it's called the Starship Raptor, the flight engine that's on basically the science fiction looking rocket that Elon Musk has. And they're doing the test flights. So, of course, we talked about this, I believe, 2 weeks ago in regards towards the initial test flights. But unfortunately, there was a small disaster in which a 50-mile-per-hour winds knocked it down, thus halting the test flights for some time. But what is going on now is that they are back on schedule. And so what's going to happen is, according at least the prototype is now to take part in a series of short flights called hop tests, which is fascinating. So according to the FCC, it will conduct both low and high altitude flights that could climb as high as about 16,400 feet. And so basically they're at least planning to do this test sometime in the early spring, or maybe a little bit after due to the unfortunate disaster of the rocket being blown down. But this is almost similar to the same test flights that was done for the Falcon Heavy rocket. As we all know, that's the same rocket that launched the Tesla car into outer space. I know I was watching that live, and I loved every single second of it. And I think there's a lot of potential here, because what we need to remember is that the design of this ship, it's a prototype. It's not the main ship, but the main purpose of this prototype is to basically have a starship that's capable of carrying 100 people to and from Mars to set up a colony, or to and from the moon to set up colonies or bases or observation stations. And this is the next big step, and we need fuel-efficient rockets. And already with previous SpaceX tests where we had self-guided rockets come right back to the landing pad, as well as the successful test of the Falcon Heavy, this prototype is just the next step of human innovation, which goes again to another point. Why don't we fund NASA? I mean, Elon Musk has gone on the record saying that NASA should be funded, because with these template designs that are being shown, it shows that the previous spacecraft that we've used in the past are basically obsolete, and this is the next wave, and we all should be excited about this. I'm happy about this. I'm happy that I get to live to see this in my lifetime of successful space tests again, and that people are actually excited about outer space. I just wish that the United States would fund NASA even further. But good on SpaceX and Elon Musk. I know, Daniel, you're just chopping at the bit to talk about this because this is the guy who introduced me to Elon Musk in the first place. So Daniel, take it away, man.
So I think I want to take a step back on this story and really explain to people. I know that not everyone has the same point of view on Elon that we do. Why I think that what he's doing is specifically important, and even as we talk about billionaires and what they're doing, he is a exception to this. Humanity will die if we stay on Earth. That's the first part. There's no exception. We're going to keep fighting over oil, and when it comes down to it, even if we go past oil, we will still be fighting over cobalt, lithium, whatever resource you want to name. We will fight over it, and we will eventually kill ourselves. So I look at it like that space is the only long-term plan for humanity. Earth, we're just going to die eventually. And why do I think that it changes the actual metric of how things on Earth happen? Well, first of all, I'm very confident the military-industrial complex will convert to a space-industrial complex. And I would be much happier seeing people that are doing that, doing space mining, because let's face it, there are asteroids out there that just in platinum, there's one asteroid that's like the size of, I think, 2 kilometers. It's worth about, I think it's something like 4% platinum. So it's worth like $11 trillion worth of platinum. That, from their point of view, is going to be a better investment with a better return if it's already been set up, which is part of what Elon is creating, is the kind of the system that transports stuff from here to there. It's the interstellar car service, if you may. Interstellar train service, perhaps, is another way to put it. So I think that from the military-industrial complex's point of view, if oil only gives you return, if let's say oil gives you a return of 5%, mining in space, if we can get it to maybe 20% or something, which is reasonable once these things are set in place, I think we're just going to have fewer wars. And I think that is, on its own, nothing else involved, huge. Other thing is, we saw when we did the Apollo programs, in addition with Elon Musk just releasing all the patents for Tesla, and he's been doing the same for SpaceX, which is a rarity in and of itself. It will speed up the Green New Deal will probably use technology that SpaceX has created, that Tesla has created, because, and I've spoken to a couple people, that was always the thing, if the government doesn't do anything, what he's doing is currently the best path.
Yeah.
Because no other billionaire, I mean, every other billionaire is either trying to overthrow a country and doing oil, and Elon Musk is making something that can affect that. And I think that's important. So this spaceship that looks like a 40s cartoon rocket, this is just another step. It's the same kind of step that they did with Falcon 9. It's just a bunny hop to make sure it works. But what it represents, and what I hope in the future, we can put enough money into NASA that Elon is not the only person out there.
Yeah.
But for now, he's doing something, and I appreciate that.
And I just want to add on to this too. Look, for the record, I mean, Elon Musk should not be the one leading the charge in this, but unfortunately with the system that we have, he is. And I think fantastic, because it's getting people to talk about outer space again, space travel again. That's fantastic. And the very fact that he's releasing the patent designs for some of his spacecraft or starships that he's building, it's great, because look, NASA's not being funded enough, and there should be enough funding for NASA for it to be leading the charge. I would like to see that. In order to do that, we got to step up and create a real responsible government that's going to look at the future and future problems that we're going to have to deal with. Until then, there's, of course, the Russian Space Agency. All of a sudden, we're going to get flagged as being Russian supporters.
Always. There's
the European Space Agency, the Chinese Space Agency, Indian Space Agency. I mean, no matter what, the fact that these designs are out there, those agencies will take it and build their rockets so that they can go forward. And I think we as Americans should also demand something from NASA as well. So good on Elon Musk. We're gonna definitely follow through with this test flight, especially in spring. Perhaps maybe we could do a little live stream coverage of it if possible.
We'll see. It'll depend, but we'll see.
It will depend. But no matter what, we are going to talk about it, because this is the future of humanity. It's through outer space. It's through innovation. And good luck to the entire team at SpaceX.
Only thing I'll say is we don't want to get too sidetracked focusing on what's right in front of us when we should always be focusing 50 years in the future.